Do 2 videos. I already did 1 live, and it's just easier for me to do live. I don't care about the cuts. When I build the course, it will be cut. It will be professionally done. I will have links and everything on every video. And, well, you'll just see. I used to edit video a lot back in the day. So, anyways, today's video is going to be like, you want to start a resale business and how to go about it. The product really doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter if you're going to sell phones. It doesn't matter if you're going to sell pencils. It doesn't matter if you're going to sell cameras. Whatever it is, it does not matter. These questions I'm going to be talking to you about is for anybody. And yes, I did write them down in front of me. I plan everything. Everything. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. The number one thing you're going to want to do is, what do you want to sell? What do you want to do? Okay, so without diving too much into each thing, we're going to talk about it, but we're not going to dive too deep into it. Okay, this is going to be real basic and give you guys kind of a taste of what we're going to be talking about in the courses. But what do you want to sell is, do you want to sell cell phones only? Do you want to do computers only? Do you want to do all electronics? Do you want to do clothing? Because I love hearing when people say, oh, clothing sucks. Clothing is the number one selling product on eBay. So if you want to sell on eBay, clothing sells a lot. But anyways, so you got to choose what you want to sell, okay? Now, everything's not in the right order here. I just jotted stuff down. But that's the first thing you want to do, is you want to talk about with whoever you're going to partner with, or if you're on your own, jot down the things that you would like to sell. That list might be huge. It might be small. Later on, you might add to it. Later on, you might subtract from it because you want to focus in on a few, maybe 5 items. We'll talk more about that in the course. Now you want to talk about, think about where you're going to get these items. Are you going to source them from thrift stores? Are you going to source them from marketing plan on Facebook, Craigslist? Are you going to look on Craigslist? Are you going to go to garage sales? Are you going to buy wholesale from wholesale sites? Are you going to sell new items and go through a drop shipper, which I don't recommend, but hey, some people do it. Are you going to buy collectibles from a collectible site and resell those? You got to find out where you're going to get your items. And that goes back a little bit on number one. Are you going to sell used or new items? Or are you going to do both? Okay, so that's something that you got to think about, is where you're going to get the items. Before you even start doing anything, before you post your first ad, these 2 questions need to be answered. Okay? Then a very, very big thing is, before you get to the next step of selling your stuff, you actually got to think about how you're going to test it if it's used. If you're doing used electronics, the most important thing is to know that electronic, to test all features. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh my, I can't do that. But if you don't know how to test all the features on that device, that's going to be the time you sell that device and that person bought it for that one feature that you did not test and it doesn't work. All right. Now, the basics should be very simple, like volumes on phones or volumes on a stereo or a keyboard. I have seen people sell computer laptops or keyboards and 4 of the buttons don't work. And they just went in and typed one word and they never hit one of them keys and it didn't work. And the laptop was returned. They got a bad mark on their eBay account. Now, this was someone I was helping to grow their business. And I told them, you got to test every key, every single key. Yes, it takes 20 seconds, but you test every single key. They didn't. They just typed, I think they typed a sentence and it didn't use them keys. And it ended up being 4 or 5 of the keys because I got it back. I did, and I fixed it. The person didn't know how to fix it. I got it. I put a new keyboard on it. Bada boom, he resold it. But you have to test the keys. The story on that one was the gentleman was trying to sell on eBay only, and he was trying to buy MacBooks and laptops and higher end laptops. And the one that he bought was MSI gaming laptop, and the buttons were the ones that were used for gaming. So I was teasing him a little bit, saying, hey, I mean, they're buying a gaming laptop. That them are pretty important keys. But he said that he learned his lesson. We put a new keyboard on it, and we're out the door. But anyways, you want to know how to test the items, and if they're broken, who to fix it? You to fix it? Are you going to get it fixed with someone else, or are you going to sell them as parts machines? Okay, that's for anything that can be used, electronic or mechanical. Okay, so if you got a pinball machine, does the bumpers work and all that other stuff? Anything that can be used. But now, if you're selling screwdrivers, you just want to make sure that they're not stripped at the end, like this one is. Uh, yeah, like this one. But you could see that. Or if you're selling plates, you want to make sure they're not broken and so forth. You want to make sure the item is in the best condition possible. And if not, list it, okay? Now, we're going to be talking about a few different things. These things here are not exactly in order because the first three kind of tells you what you're going to do. All these tie into each other. You want to talk about what your budget is, okay? How much you want to actually spend. You got to mark them off. If you don't have a budget, then something's wrong. You're going to overspend. You're going to get more inventory than you can sell, and you're going to run out of money. So I get that you have to have inventory to sell, but at the same time, you don't want to have 50 of one item that's not selling when you could use that money to buy something that was selling, okay? You want to know your budget. If your budget is you have $5,000 to go spend on items, spend $5,000. Do not overextend and take from your life savings. Do not overextend and take your rent money. Do not overextend and take your car payment money, okay? That's basic of it, okay? So the next thing we want to talk about is how you're going to market. How are you going to market, how to get the items? Where are you going to put? Are you going to put wanted ads up on Craigslist, Facebook? Are you going to use other avenues? Are you going to go garage selling? Are you going to go to thrift stores? Are you going to contact wholesale companies? Or, I mean, you got to, how are you going to get that? How are you going to market yourself to get the items? And then how are you going to market yourself to sell the items? So when I say market yourself to get the items, is are you going to post some wanted ads? That's basically what it is are you going to post wanted ads somewhere to get these items to come in? And that's mostly for used items. If you're going to sell new items, you're going to go contact a place, a wholesale company, and you would have to get your business license, which we're going to be talking about here in a second. And then if you're going to be selling the items, are you just going to post ads on Facebook and Craigslist? Are you going to market that you're selling them? Are you going to market a website? Are you going to market that you have a store and vice versa? Okay. So that goes into where you're going to sell the items. What level are you going to use your Facebook? Are you going to use a store and stuff like that? Some of these tie in. We got to think about where you're going to sell it. Where's the best market for it? If you're going to sell computers, you don't want to go on to, like Poshmark or another clothing avenue. So you're going to talk a little bit about where you're going to sell it. Try to keep it in a controllable area. You do not want to post one item across 5 different avenues and sell on 2 different avenues at the same time. That's not a good thing. But we'll get into that deeper also. This is some questions you got to start jotting down. All right. I keep getting texts about houses. And then you want to talk about what return you're going to want to need, what margin you're going to want to make. I always like using percent. Some people go, I want to make $20 profit on each item. That don't really work. Because if you buy a $500 item, you don't want to make sell for $520 because that's $500 out there to make $20. It doesn't make business sense. So you want to talk about a percent. A lot of places say 30% margin. If you go into the big box stores or the stores, 25 to 30% margin is where they would like to be at. That with that 25 to 30% margin, they can pay their payroll, they can pay their bills, and there's a profit at the end of the day. So 25 to 30% is an actual good overall, but a lot of flippers or resellers like to be at around 40 to 60%. And that's because they don't have the, they don't have the money out there buying some that profit, the items that make you a 5% margin, and then some are making a 90% for the average, they're looking at every flip, they want to double their money. and that would be a 50%. So if they spend 100, they want to sell it for 200. That's a 50% margin. That's kind of like the general thing for flippers. They want to double their money. Um, so you want to sit down and try to figure out what margin you want to be at, and we'll get deeper into that in our margin course when we talk about that. You want to talk about with whoever you are. If you're by yourself, think about where you're going to run your business. Is it going to be out of your house? Is it going to be an office, or are you going to actually get a retail store? That's a big decision. Of course, the house is not going to cost you anything extra, unless you have to get internet and maybe a little bit more power to run the computer, I guess. But an office or your store. Now you want to talk about how you're going to go into business. Are you going to start an LLC? Are you going to be a sole proprietor? Or are you going to be a corporation? I do not want to get into details of each one of these, but there's benefits and there's pros and cons, should I say, with each and every single one. Where if you're just going to have one store, I don't think you're going to want to become a corporation. Okay. And an LLC, there's certain things that you have to do also. But at the same time, when you're doing this, I would talk to someone that is in the line of work, maybe a lawyer or a business consultant in your area, and go from there. But that is a step that does have benefits for taxes, benefits for tax write-offs. I mean, there's benefits along with cons, okay? And then you want to talk about how much you want to pay yourself. Yes, you want to pay yourself. You don't want to just take the profits and go ahead and stick them in your pocket. You want to pay yourself away so you continue to grow. Okay, so in this course, I want to talk about how to build your business and how to sustain the business into growth, how to make it grow, how to continue to walk that path and climb that ladder. I know there's setbacks in business. I know that there's things that will knock you down, but the most important thing is to learn from that and get back up and keep walking, or keep climbing, if you want to say. So these are just simple things that you got to start writing down, and a lot of people don't do that. Some people don't read books anymore. Either read books, write things down, plan things out. We'll get into that into the course. I'm actually going to film about 4 of the videos today, or should I say film footage for the videos, and then start editing them, and them videos should be done maybe in 7 to 10 days. And calls too. So I am going to go ahead and go, and I will talk to you later.